Welcome to your Get That Nugget for GCSE English Literature. Today we're going to be focusing on giving you the tools to approach the Shakespeare question in paper 1, looking at how we unpick that question and how we use it to write a plan, write introductions and write paragraphs. This session is here to complement your lessons with your teacher and not in any way to replace them. So, Literature paper 1, you will have the Shakespeare question where you will be given an extract and then a question to answer. You are being tested on these assessment objectives. So first of all, how well you understand the text in general, how well you can respond to that question, how well you can use quotations, and then when you're using those quotations, how well you can analyse them, how well you can look at what the writer is doing and why, and then finally grounding it into the time at which the text was written. So in our case with Shakespeare, we're looking at Elizabethan England, and with Macbeth, we're looking at the rule of James I and the turmoil that followed with that. So if we look at the question, it will look something like this. You will have an extract and then the question will follow. Use that question to help you start to unpick the extract. So starting with this extract, explore how Shakespeare presents the idea of loyalty. So you know that throughout this you are looking for anything around loyalty or disloyalty. This particular extract is Macbeth contemplating whether he's going to go ahead with the murder of Duncan. If it were done when 'tis done, then 'twere well, it were done quickly. So the fact that he wants it done quickly suggests that he is uncomfortable with it. If the assassination could trammel up the consequence and catch with his surcease success, that but this blow might be the be-all and end-all here. He refers to it as an assassination, so again we know that it's quite a serious thing. But here upon this bank and shoal of time we jump the life to come, but in these cases we still have judgment here. So he is judging himself, he knows that he will be judged. That we but teach bloody instructions, which being taught return to plague the inventor. He recognises that whatever he does will have long-term impacts on him. This even-handed justice commends the ingredients of our poisoned chalice. This idea that it's a positive that he would become king, it's a positive that he would take over the throne, and yet it is poisoned in some way because of what he has to do to get there. He's here in double trust. First, as I am his kinsman and his subject, strong both against the deed. Then as his host, who should against his murderer shut the door. So the idea that Macbeth is potentially here breaking two forms of loyalty, that of his subject and then that as his host. The host is there to protect you and to look after you. Not bear the knife myself. Besides this, Duncan hath borne his faculties so meek, hath been so clear in his great office, that his virtues will plead like angels. So the idea not only that he should look after Duncan, but that Duncan is a good king, and that recognition that he deserves his loyalty. The deep damnation of his taking off and pity like a naked newborn babe striding the blast, or heaven's cherubim horsed upon the slightest couriers of the air, shall blow the horrid deed in every eye, that tears shall drown the wind. I have no spur to prick the sides of my intent, but only vaulting ambition, which overleaps itself and falls on the other. So we have the idea throughout this that Macbeth recognises that he should be protecting Duncan, he recognises that he should be loyal to Duncan, but the idea of being king, the ambition that he has, is the thing that's going to cause him to become disloyal. Within the rest of the play, we see this several times again. We see that Duncan has rewarded Macbeth and places absolute trust in him, which again makes that betrayal almost worse. We see the fact that his wife teaches him almost how to be disloyal by saying that he should look like the innocent flower. But be the serpent underneath. And that idea links the idea of disloyalty to evil, to sin, to religion and the Garden of Eden, and that betrayal for Adam and Eve. And then we also see further on in the play, after Macbeth is crowned and he is betrayed, he suggests that all of Macduff's family should be given to the edge of the sword. So we have early on in the play, Macbeth recognising that he should be loyal to Duncan, Macbeth recognising that he should bar the door against Duncan's assassins. This idea that Duncan has placed absolute trust in Macbeth and believes that he will look after him and protect him because he has already fought off the rebels who were looking for his throne. His wife recognising that he needs to put on a different face to the rest of the world and underneath be the serpent, that linking the idea of disloyalty to evil. And then the fact that later on in the play he feels betrayed by Macduff's disloyalty, and as a result of this suggests that all of his family should be put to the sword. So the idea of loyalty, therefore, in Macbeth is quite important. So you have this loyalty to the crown, which should be Macbeth to Duncan, and then later on should be Macduff to Macbeth. So loyalty is something that is owed to the monarch. You have the idea that loyalty is something innocent and good. The idea that trust is key and that betrayal is problematic, and the fact that disloyalty is often violent and murderous. So we've got 4 different angles that we can look at there in terms of loyalty within Macbeth. What is Shakespeare trying to tell us? Well, we understand that Shakespeare is making a comment about the rebels who rose up against James I, the people who tried to blow up the Houses of Parliament, the fact that the Catholics were trying to fight back against the Protestants. So Shakespeare presents loyalty as something that is due to the monarch, and as such shows disloyalty as something evil and against God. Shakespeare does this in order to gain favour with the new monarch, James the First. Okay, so there we've got our thesis statement. We have our clear points that we're going to make, and from that we can write our introduction and plan our essay. What you should do now is have a look at how you would turn this thesis statement into a complete introduction, ensuring that you are meeting all of those assessment objectives. There is the question. Starting with this extract, explore how Shakespeare presents the idea of loyalty. And there is the thesis statement.